My name is Anne, this is my dog Mochi, and I am here making this video today because since January 1st, I have hand-bound not one, not two, not even three, but 4 copies of the fanfiction Manacled. Personally, I never really even sought to read this series. I have always loved Harry Potter. It has always been a series that has been very close to my heart. Unfortunately, J.K. Rowling is transphobic and she sucks and she's a terrible human being. And so because she is a terrible human being, I have always thought that fan work like Manacled that is free and open to the public is amazing because it's a way to share and celebrate a story that we all love without directly benefiting a transphobe. I decided to make a video documenting my process because I think it's really fun and I hope it resonates with people who like Manacled and like hand binding books. This big one was my first experience and it wasn't perfect, and these 3 aren't perfect either, but I'd like to think I'm kind of getting the hang of it, and I'd love to kind of share my process and how I was able to make this happen. At some point, my best friend Mallory jumps into this video and starts making her own 3 copies of Manacled to gift to her friend who is getting married as a wedding present. So it was really amazing having my best friend be a part of this binding process, and I would like to consider anyone who reads Manacled my best friend. If you like this video and you love Manacled, please comment so we can become besties. Without further ado, this is how I bound these 3 copies of Manacled.
So the first thing I did was print out this typeset by Liz, aka Untitled Reader on Instagram. Be sure to check her out. And once I had my signatures organized, I went and started folding one by one for each page. And I did this for probably a full volume until I decided not to. So I'm currently having a moment of questioning why I'm folding each page individually, and I don't know why. I feel like I just saw someone do that. I could just do like all the signatures at once. I'm gonna go in folder down. This is have to use quite a bit of strength though. Ugh. Yeah, like that looks fine, and that would save me like hours of time. Okay, let's do that some more. Again, I'm taking all 8 pages in this signature and just folding them together instead of doing one by one. And Manacled is giant, so as much as I want to be perfectionist, saving time and energy and being lazy is actually super important. So you'll see here, I'm finishing up volume 2 and 3 and moving right along to the next process of sewing. I think I have this figured out. What we're going to do is thread the needle. And you have to get like a little curved one like this. Apparently you can use a straight one, but don't know why you would when the curved one is so fun. And then I'm going to measure out the length of how much I want based on how many signatures I have. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 signatures. So allegedly, to get that length, I just go 1, 2, okay, we're gonna basically go in and out, like weaving in and out for this first one. So in, okay, now I'm going to rethread the needle from the other side, get my second to last signature, double check that 223, 222, yep, is in order, and I'm going to go in here like that, like that maybe, and then underneath this one and then back in here. Okay, and so this is what kind of makes the little French link right there. Okay. So this specific method of sewing your signatures together is the French link method, and I would definitely recommend it. My first time around sewing Manacled, I didn't use this stitch. I used a different stitch, and it was a mess. When my friend Mallory came over to join me in this Manacled sewing process, this was the stitch I showed her. I told her, no monkey business. Don't even fool around with any other stitch. You have to do this one. So that's what we did. And here we are, sitting on the couch, watching a movie, sewing our Manacled signatures together. You know, just normal things that friends do. And once we sewed all of our signatures together, we put them in our book press to glue. This book press I got from Amazon. It came with a whole bookbinding kit. Obviously, don't support Amazon. Literally, I didn't know where else to buy a book press from. Like, where do you get that from? But regardless, I'll put the link in the description of this video. Now I'm making the end bands. I'm just taking some Elmer glue with a piece of thread and folding that over, and then I'm going to apply that directly to the end of each side of my book. The fabric that I'm using is the same fabric that I'm going to make my cover, and I love doing that just because I like to have everything all nice and matching and cute. Once the end bands are secured, I'm going to take another little bit of cheesecloth, put that over the spine, glue it down, make sure it's nice and secure, and then we are done.
So here is my 3 copies of Manacled, and then here are Mallory's that she just made today. Literally can't believe it. This is the craziest thing that's ever happened to me, is both of us making Manacled at the very same time. I didn't even plan this. I had started making mine, and she was like, oh, let's do it together. I need to make one. So there's hers and then there's mine. Ah, so fun.
So I put my settings on medium cardstock with more pressure, and let's load it. Oh. Okay, it's working now. Wow. Okay. It just didn't cut the last half, but you know what? I'm fine with that. Alternatively, if you don't have a Cricut, you can just cut your book board like a normal person. I, however, am very bad at cutting. Literally, look at that edge. I can't do it. So I use the help of my Cricut. And what I'm using here is just a piece of cardstock to make the spine. It can be any color because nobody's going to see this. Obviously, it's going to be glued into the book. To make the hinges of the spine, I am measuring out just 1 centimeter from the edge on both sides. And when that is done, you can start with gluing down each of the book boards. So I'm going to apply a generous heaping amount of glue, flip it over, and then do the other side. And this is going to be the side that we're gluing on the fabric to, so I try to make sure that it is just as smooth as possible before we flip it over and put it on the fabric. Well, actually first I have to make the fabric. So to make bookbinding fabric, I will take interfacing, I just got this from Joanne, and iron that on to the side of the fabric that we are not using, if that makes sense. All right, so now we do the scariest part, gluing it down. Although I'm fairly optimistic this process is going to go all right. So I am taking my little cardboard, facing it down this way so that the part that we just smoothed out to make the creases, and I'm putting a ton of glue in those creases like this. Take my awesome glue brush and just get all up in there. And then I'm going to turn it over like that. Turn the fabric over. And I don't know where I put my bone folder, but I'll just use this. Kind of go in and really get the creases. Oh, look how awesome that's turning out. So well defined. Ooh, I'm kind of scratching my fabric a little bit. That's okay. Okay, and then I'm gonna like lift up one side, kind of. Add in some more glue. I think I'm literally gonna have to take this off. Okay. Oh God, okay. Yep. That was intentional, you guys. And just literally spread it all over. You don't want to use too much because it might get wonky. Hold on, please. There we go. Oh god. Okay. This mat is washable, by the way, guys. If this is giving you anxiety, don't even worry about it. This is not an anxious process at all. I have no anxiety. I'm totally fine with everything that's happening right now. Okay. Now we're ready to slowly kind of like layer the fabric over. Yes, this is turning out great. Smooth out any bubbles. Wonderful. See, what was I anxious for? This is looking wonderful. I might need maybe like a little bit more glue down there. Oh no, it's fine. Okay, and then now, new glue bottle. Let's do the other side. Oh, that's so much easier. Brush, 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 brush. Oh, I just touched my face with glue on it. Oh, great. Okay. And then same as the other side, kind of just like slowly. Uh-oh. Okay, slowly. Nice. Wow, looks so pretty. All right, flip this bad boy open or over. Now I'm gonna cut my little corners to like right here. I'm gonna cut it. I'm just kind of eyeballing it, but like maybe like just off of the corner. Goodbye. Let's do this side. I'm less anxious about this part because this part you do not see, because our end pages will be the star of the show. One more side. I love the sound, by the way. There we go. All right, more glue. Just a little bit, not as much as the first time. Brush, brush, brush. Fold. Okay, it's kind of looking a little wonky, but like I said, this side is a lot less important. As long as it sticks down, you know, it's really all that matters. Let's do this side. Ooh, we're getting a 5 o'clock glow right now. All right, brush, brush, brush. I mean, really the corners are all that matters. See how like right there is really pointy? Love that. Corners are all that matters. Everything else is fine. We can worry about that later. Oops. Oops. Oh, sorry, that's my iron. Okay. Fold, fold, fold. Corners. This one's a little short, but we can kind of like mess with it a little bit. Again, if my nails look dirty, they're not. I wash my hands many a times because I'm getting glue all over them. It's just that I fake tanned. So it's kind of, I look like I worked in a garden. All right. This side is slightly short too, but that's all right. Yay! Yay! Here's our bookcase. Wow, isn't she pretty? Yee! And I'm really gonna just like, I like taking my brush sometimes, just getting in there. Really defining that. Wonderful! We're done! Well, we have a lot to go, but we're done with this part. And now we move on to the Cricut. I believe the one I own is a Cricut Air Explorer. And it took a pretty long time for all of my designs to cut out. So you'll see here that Mallory and Mochi and I are just continuing our bookbinding party. We have all of our books set aside that are drying with their glue. We're watching movies. It's a grand old time. And now this is my absolute favorite part of bookbinding, the weeding of my Cricut designs. This design I got from Liz, the same person who made the typeset. I think the only difference I did was I just added like a different title in the middle. But if anyone is interested in this, I can give you the link to get the typeset as well as this design. I thought it was really pretty and I loved how it matched everything else in my typeset. And this is my design for the back cover. I just did a bunch of really pretty roses. I designed this on Canva with a quote, one of my favorite quotes from Manacled: "If he's a monster, then I am his creator." Love that quote. And anyways, you can see here I'm kind of just going through weeding out the roses, weeding out the vines. This was not too difficult of a pattern to weed. And now we are ready to iron this bad boy on. I was so excited to see this. I was really nervous. I didn't want the cover design to be too busy because there's already kind of a pattern on the fabric. So I was kind of worried about how it would all come together, but it was beyond my expectations. It looked so good. It was definitely a really stressful process removing all the foil and everything, but I think I managed not to mess it up too bad. I had to do this for volume 1, and then I went ahead and did this for volumes 2 and 3 as well. And once I applied my covers to all 3 of my copies of Manacled, I started with the end pages. I kind of messed this up pretty bad, but that's fine. I fixed it later. I always mess up my end pages. I think the trick is to be more generous with glue than you think you should be. Like you can see there, I didn't use a lot of glue on that side, but you'll see when I spread the glue around on the cover side, it's just like it doesn't always stick. Yeah, there you go. See, it's not sticking. The only real learning lesson I took from this process was to make sure that I spread more glue along the cheesecloth portion, which it's kind of hard. It doesn't spread very easily, and that's really annoying. But I kind of would find like if I didn't have enough glue there, my book would almost like snap when I opened it, and there'd be like a gap between the spine and the cardboard bookcase. But if you put more glue where that muslin is, that should help with the process. And you'll see later on I corrected my error. Also, this in-page sheet I accidentally cut too short, and I only had like a set amount of this pretty paper that I was using that I got from Joann's, so be it. It just had to be short, so that's why I made sure it was just on the back cover, and I will try not to make that mistake next time. And you'll see here like I did this wrong too. The muslin, I didn't put like enough glue on the muslin side of the bookcase, so that's why it wasn't sticking properly. But alas, I put it in my bookbinder to dry because I had to go over to my friend's bookstore to help her finish up her bookbinding. Okay, so we're at the bookstore making books.
How exciting.
So Mallory is doing her end pages. Oh no, sorry, her end caps and bands. What has been your favorite process so far?
The sewing the signatures together.
What has been your least favorite process?
Cutting vinyl.
Oh.
Gotcha. Oh god.
Ooh. Wow.
No, it's the vinyl. The vinyl is like the death of me.
Yeah.
The rest of it's really fine. I was like, I'm gonna do this every day of my life, and then I had to cut out vinyl.
Yeah, so now we're gonna all glue our little text blocks in and be done!
And just like leave it closed until it dries.
Yeah. And then I gotta do the other side.
That brush. Please. You have to kill me.
Please. I think this is gonna work.
I think so too.
Show me the goods.
These are the goods.
Whoa! Yeah, open her up. Yep. Wow! Guys, she still hasn't even read Manacled yet.
I've read the first volume. This is a gift.
And these are mine.
Those are so gorgeous.
Yours are so gorgeous.
Oh, you're so gorgeous.
Here they are. The two genders. Hermione and Draco.
Wait, it's so Hermione and Draco.
Wait, we're so.
Wait.
Yeah, because guys, I'm a Gryffindor. She's a Slytherin. This is a really embarrassing conversation. Yay! We found Manacled. And wow, you guys, we are done with binding Manacled for this episode. Go follow Sincerely Yours bookstore on Instagram. I did a little photo shoot in the store after hours. So thank you, Mallory, for binding books with me. And thank you, Mallory, for letting me film in your store. Hello. I would like to buy these 6 copies of Manacled, part 1, 2, and 3.
Good. I think these are the last 6 volumes that we have.
How much are they?
Let's see. Let me price yours for you. They're $100 each.
So it'd be $600.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay,